Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho. H to the OV. I used to move snowflakes by
Hello, fans of all ages. We are indeed the Beasts of the East. Ryan Mork and Scott Thompson here with you on WRPR 90.3 FM Ramapo College Radio, coming to you live from Studio A here at Ramapo College of New Jersey in Mahwah, New Jersey on this Wednesday, November 4th, 2015. We got a very good show coming up for you at 6:15. We will have Greg T from Z100. Greg T, the frat boy. That should be a lot of fun.
The frat boy.
The frat boy. Greg T just ran the marathon on Sunday. He's probably still sore.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I played softball the other day, Ryan, and I'm sore. This guy ran a marathon. He's probably in bed for the past 2 days.
Yeah, I probably would not have left. He ran it in 4:49. Not bad.
That's not bad at all.
That's really not bad. 4:49.50.
4:49.50. That's not bad. You know, the woman that won in 2 hours and 24 minutes, I think. That's crazy. That is ridiculous. She's back-to-back champ.
I think it's like more something in your body than it is actual training.
A lot of it's mental. Just being able to push yourself.
That's true.
I can't run.
You know they have 3,602 porta potties throughout the course of the
3,602.
Yes.
Well, that's the stat of the day then.
You know where I got that from?
Porta potties.
Someone's Snapchat story. You know they had like the Snapchat story and
yeah,
it was there. All right, so before Greg comes on, we got to go over some things about the Mets and the Yankees really quickly. The Mets and the Yankees are in their offseason, and they got a lot of moves to make. They got a lot of things to discuss. And let's talk about the Mets first. Mets, obviously National League champs. They have a lot of free agents coming up, and the two big ones are Daniel Murphy and Yoenis Cespedes. And we were talking about it a little before on Monday when Matt from Blue Coat Radio called in. I think that they should pursue Cespedes, but not heavily, as crazy as that might sound, because in 4 years from now, who would you rather pay? Cespedes, who's going to be 34, and we were saying this the other day, like we hate to... You hate to joke about it, but it is a legitimate concern. All these guys who come up from Cuba might lie about their age. We saw it with Miguel Tejada, and that was a big story. So am I saying that Cespedes is really 33 years old? No, of course not. But Cespedes is 30 years old. He's turning 31 very soon. You don't want to pay a guy for 5, 6, 7 years and pay him $20 million. You don't want to pay the guy $20 million in his age 36 year. The Mets aren't going to do that. They've looked at so many teams who have done that, and they're not going to. They know their lesson. Who would you rather pay, Cespedes or Harvey DeGrom Syndergaard?
Harvey DeGrom Syndergaard, absolutely. Look at what they are in the future. Harvey, 26 years old. DeGrom, 23. Mm-hmm. These guys are young guns. They have so many years left, and you'd rather pay them because, Ryan, I wrote in my article today, they are the future of Mets baseball, and you need to keep them there if you want to be able to make the postseason.
It's a questionable future, but they are the future.
Obviously,
of the Mets.
It is questionable. Pitchers, it's hard because you never know what could happen. Look at Masahiro Tanaka. Already had it. He had elbow issues. Excuse me, when he just came. So you never know what can happen with this guy. But the pitchers are what you need to go after, and Cespedes, we saw at the end, he's a streaky guy. You don't know what you can get out of him. Yes, can he produce when he's hot? Absolutely, we saw that. But if it comes down to having to pay him or the pitchers, you obviously want your pitchers because that's what's going to win you games.
And obviously Cespedes is going to be in NL MVP talks. But Cespedes, what we saw of him this year, that's not who he is. He's usually a 250, 260 hitter, going to hit 25 home runs at the most. This year, unbelievable season. Batted 300, 35-plus home runs. I think he had over 100 RBIs. But that's not who Yoenis Cespedes is. You can't be so brainwashed into a short stint. And that's what happened with Met fans with Daniel Murphy. Everyone was saying, re-sign Murphy, re-sign Murphy. And then look at what happened. He was getting booed off the field at the World Series because the guy can't feel the ground ball.
Yeah.
You can't be so brainwashed into thinking that a short stint is what this player really is, because that's not Cespedes. Murphy is not the home run hitter that we saw in the NLCS and at the end of the NLDS. I think that if they're going to pursue Cespedes, there's no problem with that. I think that they do need a power bat, because what have we been saying before this year for the last 5 or 6 years? They were one bat away, and they got that bat, and they made it to the World Series this year.
Yeah.
But they cannot overpay for Cespedes. And you know Cespedes is going to ask for a big contract, especially after this year. The Mets won't give it to him, A. And B, they have a lot of guys that they have to worry about paying.
You hit the nail right on the head, Ryan. He's asking for at least 6 years. He wants Giancarlo Stanton, Albert Pujols sort of money. And that just can't happen. The Mets just can't do that because they have a lot more to worry about than just one guy. And again, the Mets aren't the Yankees. You can't just offer this guy 6 years, $200 million.
They have to be very selective.
Absolutely. And this year was good and bad at the same time, because we know that he can produce, and he knows that, obviously, and his agent thinks that he can get him out there. So, the Mets really have to look carefully at what they're doing and try not to have too many wide eyes in the room when talking about Cespedes' contract, because you can't throw away the money that you want to use for your pitchers.
201-825-1234 is the number. Call in with your thoughts. 201-825-1234. And if they re-sign Cespedes, what is his role? Because Cespedes can't play center field. He can't man the outfield.
No.
Lagares, he's going to get surgery with his elbow, and he might be out for an extended period of time. Michael Kadire, they're paying $13 million. The guy might not even play. So what's his role if he gets re-signed?
He's either going to have to play left or right field. If Lagares is getting surgery, Ryan, you're going to see him in center field if he is on the Mets in 2016. Because who else are you going to put up there? Curtis Granderson? No. Curtis Granderson doesn't have the arm he used to, if he even had one at all. I mean, we saw that, can he get the ball from the warning track to the infield? Barely. But you need a guy in center field like Lagares who can range and also have that arm. So Cespedes is obviously the clear favorite for that if he's back with the Mets. But when Lagares comes back, you can see him in left field again. But you know what? You need, if you're going to give this guy this much money and you're going to have at least a 6-year deal like he wants, you got to make sure that this guy can produce. And they're going to look at everything. They're going to background check everything to make sure, because what we saw in the postseason from Cespedes and a little bit at the end of the regular season was not the Yoenis Cespedes that we saw that got traded to the Mets during the All-Star break.
Looking at the free agent list, you have Upton, who they're probably not, they'll pursue him. They'll pursue Cespedes.
Which Upton? Melvin or
Justin?
Justin, okay.
They'll pursue Fowler. Alex Rios is a free agent. Denard Span is a free agent. Hayward's a free agent. Rasmus is a free agent. I think the one guy that they should go after, though, is Chris Young. I think he's going to go back to the Yankees. Out of Capuano, Drew, and basically all the free agents for the Yankees, Chris Young probably is the most likely to go back to the Yankees. But I think the Mets should seriously consider getting
Chris Young had a rebirth when he went to the Yankees.
Yep.
Left the Mets awful. God-awful with the Mets. Came to the Yankees, had a little bit of a rebirth, switched his swing a little bit, not a lot of hitching in there. And he's a lefty killer, this guy. And that's why the Yankees, I think, are going to go hard after him, too, because he did well for them this year. And
that's a much better contract.
Yeah, but
Chris Young's 32 years old. You can pay him 2-3 years maximum. Mm-hmm. That's all you need.
Out of Stephen Drew and Chris Capuano, that I think is just even out of the conversation now.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not there. So, where do you think Daniel Murphy is going to go?
Let's look at the infield free agents and see what are the Yankees. What are the Mets' options? They have Murphy. Do they have any other infielders? They have Ruben Tejada.
Let's hope he comes back healthy. He should for spring training, but I don't know. I mean,
middle infield, Desmond, Rollins are not going to re-sign. Kendrick, Murphy, Asdrubal Cabrera, he's going to ask for a lot of money. Daniel Murphy made $8 million. He's going to ask for probably.
I don't think Asdrubal Cabrera is going to ask for a lot of money because of his age. He doesn't have a lot left in him, and we've seen.
He's 29.
He's 29.
He's 29.
Guy's playing like he's 34. He's just not producing.
Yeah, but he made $7.5 million though, so he's going to ask for more money.
Let me look at this. Ian Desmond. I always loved Ian Desmond.
Me too.
Absolutely loved. You just got to switch his swing a little bit and just. The guy is a great player. He's fast. He's quick. His baseball IQ is out the door. It's just his mental errors. I feel like he gets caught up too much, and that's what his mental errors create his physical errors. But I love Ian Desmond. You think that Washington will re-sign them because he's been a backbone for them at shortstop, even though, yes, he's had some glove issues. But if you want to look for a solid infield guy, Ian Desmond is definitely the one to be there. Jimmy Rollins is on his last leg. I don't think he's going to be anywhere. But Howie Kendrick, maybe? Possibly? David Freese, possibly? You could obviously sign Stephen Drew.
I would stay away from Steve. I mean,
yeah, if I'm the Yankees,
he's a complete opposite of Daniel Murphy, though. So if you're the Mets, do you want to sacrifice hitting for defense?
No.
My answer is no. I think that you can. I mean, who is the only team that could have possibly beaten the Mets in a series? It was the Royals. You don't face a team like that every so often.
No.
And I think the Mets can't go into this offseason saying we have to beat the Royals. The Mets have to go into this season saying we have to win the division and we have to play our game. Because if you sign guys and try to specialize your team into beating other teams, it doesn't work out. No. Because that's not your game.
But what I'm looking at right here, Ryan, I think that would be a great fit for the Mets. Ben Zobrist. After watching Ben Zobrist destroy you in the World Series, I mean, Ben Zobrist was eating up the Mets. This guy is a great contact hitter. He's a switch hitter. He was always a Yankee killer on the Raves, so that's why I never really liked Ben Zobrist. Until now, actually looking at this guy play, he could be a good fit at second base, and you have Ruben Tejada, who should be coming back for spring training at shortstop. That's a good bat in your lineup. You can even use him as a leadoff. If Daniel Murphy leaves, you can. Ben Zobrist is a utility player. I don't know. I feel like Kansas City definitely would want to re-sign him after what he's done for them, but it's a shot. I think he would fit well.
The team need is a middle infielder. They should focus on that more than they should focus on guys like Cespedes and Upton and anything like that, because they do have a quality outfield. They have Granderson. They have Lagares. Kadire, right now, he hasn't panned out. He has not lived up to the contract. Well, you know what? They'll sign it. They can sign it. They can do away with getting an outfielder like Chris Young, like who else did we just read a
Chris
bunch
Young,
of people off the list.
Justin Upton.
Yeah,
you don't need those people.
There are a lot more options for the outfield. The infield, the options are very limited.
Yeah,
and I think they're more likely to re-sign Murphy than they are Cespedes, because Murphy will ask for less money, because Cespedes is going to ask for $20 million a year. Murphy's not asking for that, and he might have if he kept it up in the World Series. But you know what? He stunk in the World Series. He made key errors. You know, his error in Game 4 was ranked the 6th most costly error in World Series history.
Really? Well, that ultimately decided that game. So yeah. But you know what? I can see Ian Desmond moving to short. If you sign Ian Desmond, you move him to short, and you move Ruben Tejada to second base.
Yeah.
That's a good bat in your lineup, and I don't think it'll be that costly. Guy's young.
And you have Flores, so I mean...
Yeah.
We got Brandon in the studio. Brandon.
No, you were talking about middle infielders, and, Howie Kendrick, I was looking at his, before the Mets-Dodgers series, I was, wondering, are the Dodgers bats actually dangerous enough to beat the Mets pitchers? And Howie Kendrick batted .300 this year.
Yeah.
That's a second baseman that...
Howie Kendrick always hits for average.
He can field better than Murphy, and he hits a better average. You might have to pay him a little more, but if you pay him a little more, and honestly, for the Mets, you have to get Cespedes back.
This is the
you
thing,
really
though.
don't think you have to get Cespedes back?
I don't think you have to get Cespedes back because
he's not the player that he was this year.
But
he bats 250, 260.
Yes, I agree. Having the bat in his lineup, that's a scary. No matter what you think, that having his name. Murphy said, they asked him, why are you doing so well? He said, I should thank Yoenis Cespedes for giving such good pitches to hit. He protects people in the lineup. So the people around him will do better because the name Yoenis Cespedes is batting fourth. I think that's a overlooked thing that people don't realize. Yes, the stats are only 260, maybe 270 hitter. Hits home runs, hits RBIs. I don't know. I
just don't think they have the money to do it. I just don't
That's the
think
big
that
thing.
they are.
Because you have to.
I don't think that Alderson is willing to spend $200 million on one person.
No.
Who yes, you said protects people, but the guy's streaky.
The guy's streaky. He's 30 years old. Do you want to pay the guy $20 million when he's 35 years old, or do you want to pay Matt Harvey $20 million when he's 30 years old?
Yeah, I agree. They really have to think about where they want to put their money, and obviously we've realized they don't really like to spend.
Right now, it's leaning toward the pitchers. In our opinion, I think we can agree on that. But who knows what's going to happen in the winter? It always changes. We always see big time contracts. So we'll see.
Also, these pitchers don't have to be paid for another 3 years.
Yeah,
they don't have to pay them.
Right.
They're obviously going to want. All right, if Harvey pitches well all next year, he's getting paid next year.
Yeah.
But you don't have to pay them yet.
Yeah,
Syndergaard, you probably don't pay him for another maybe 2 years. Matt's 2 years.
It's all about when.
That's almost anything. Look at Russell Wilson. Look at what he was making. And then he showed that he can produce, and now, boom! Look at his contract now.
But now he's not getting off track, but now he's not very good.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess they got to figure it out where they want to put their money this offseason.
We're expecting Greg to call in a couple of minutes. Beast of the East, Ryan Warwick, Scott Thompson, Brandon Kurtzman, Greg T will be joining us shortly. Let's talk about the Yankees' offseason moves that they need to make. The hitting is obviously a question. They got a new hitting coach. The pitching, a lot of people say that they need another starter.
Hey, Ryan, do you remember the list you made the other day? Ryan, the other day, made a 2021 Yankees lineup, which is basically like a fantasy team, but one guy that was on there, and I saw the update this morning, was Zach Greinke. And Zach Greinke opted out of a 3-year, $71 million contract with the Dodgers.
Oh, because he can get more money.
Because
how crazy is that?
And guess who can give more money, Ryan?
I know.
But
who knows? Who knows?
I'm just kidding.
Who knows?
But aren't the Yankees? I kind of heard they're trying to go in this new direction.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, exactly. I'll believe it when I see it. But if they do start to go in this new direction, I don't really think they need another pitcher. Tanaka, Severino, Pineda's on and off. Nova's on and off.
They don't need another pitcher.
They don't need another starter.
No.
So I don't think that should be their main concern.
A bat. They need a bat.
They have to
At what position?
At what position? I don't think it even matters.
No. But you're saying,
second base.
So
second base.
Second base is the start, and
they got to focus on a second baseman.
I love Howie Kendrick with the Yankees because you need a guy that's on base. Obviously, we know the Yankees can hit a home run, but a guy that's on base constantly from walks and hits and however else, Howie Kendrick knows how to get on base.
Yep.
But you got to think Ellsbury and Gardner are not going to play as badly as they did down the stretch.
Very true.
You would hope not. And that's
Gardner might play badly down the stretch because he's like a career 230 hitter in the second half. He's not
in the second half. Okay.
Ellsbury's not a bad player.
No, he's
Was
not.
it a bad contract? Yeah, but he's not a bad player. Brett Gardner is not a bad player. Back-to-back years, he's posted home runs in the teens.
Will the Yankees think about getting rid of Mark Teixeira with the emergence of Greg Bird?
If he didn't have a no-trade clause, they would have traded him. They would have traded him already.
So you don't think they just get rid? They just don't. They don't release him.
It's almost physically impossible because Mark Teixeira said that he won't accept a trade anywhere.
What about Ben?
No, you can just release them. You probably owe him a bunch of money. You don't release a guy with that kind of contract.
They wouldn't do that.
What about Ben?
It makes sense.
But then what do you do with Greg Bird then? Because A-Rod's coming back and playing.
He's a backup.
You're really going to put someone that he
you have to.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Okay, this thing though.
Unless if Teixeira stinks.
Yeah.
Then you have to put in Greg
Is
Bird.
Beltran coming back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully Aaron Judge can come up at least at some time this year.
Aaron Judge.
Because they said
I think Aaron Judge will be on the opening day roster.
But if Beltran isn't there, you expect Aaron Judge to start right field?
If Beltran
is not there, Aaron Judge is there right. As soon as Beltran's gone, Aaron Judge.
So this is what I'm saying. So if you have Aaron Judge coming up, guy's also a big bat.
Yeah.
You need someone to get on base. I think it's either Howie Kendrick or you can even look at Ben Zobrist there. Because the Kansas City Royals have to sign back Salvador Perez. They have to sign Alex Gordon, who both had big postseasons, so these guys are good. Ben Zobrist made how much this year? Like
He made
almost $3 million, maybe.
Probably.
Okay, the Yankees can offer him a solid contract, and instead of having the Yankee killer on another team, might as well
Ben Zobrist made 2.8.
Might as well bring him over. Why not? Short porch. The guy's a switch hitter, but
I mean, they're both short porches, so really,
again, another switch hitter in the Yankee lineup. I think it'd be a pretty good fit.
Yeah, I want to go back to Teixeira, though, because I said when the season ended, I said their main priority should be Mark Teixeira being traded. But the thing is, he can't, and he's not going to accept a no-trade clause anyway. He's on the record. He won't accept a trade anywhere. And it stinks because Greg Bird is awesome. But that's what you have to deal with. That's why the Yankees are practically done with all these long-term contracts, because you're seeing what's happening with Ellsbury. You're seeing it right now with CC Sabathia, and even right now with Teixeira being hurt constantly. A-Rod, the guy's going to be 41 coming up this season, so you don't know with him. And he's probably not going to hit 35 home runs again this year. I mean, this year
honestly,
was incredible. He could.
Really, this guy, we thought before he was a steroid allegation, we were saying this guy could be the best hitter to ever live.
As long as,
so you never know he's going to do a 41. I think the Yankees are in a really, weird place right now. I don't know, weird isn't the word, but, all right, you got Teixeira first.
Yeah.
Greg Bird is his backup. Greg Bird should Greg Bird should start on half the MLB teams.
Yeah.
Then you're looking at, you said Beltran. Aaron Judge is a backup. Aaron Judge could possibly be starting on opening day and could start also on a lot of teams. And then the big contract of Ellsbury. I don't know what Gardner's deal is. And then, you know what I don't like, honestly? They gave Headley not a long-term deal.
Headley, I thought that was a good signing.
No, it was a good deal. The 4-year, $56 million, whatever. It was somewhere around that realm. But, I don't know. I feel like these guys that are sitting on the bench are better than the guys that are going to be on the field.
I mean, that's
or more valuable.
It's good because you have that depth, because you know that this team is so injury prone, but at the same time, these young guys can play, and they're good, and we see that.
But that's going to be very good down the stretch.
Absolutely. And Mark Teixeira has a lot to prove this year, in my opinion, because if he's not producing, Joe Girardi might have to go to his binder and say, okay, you're doing this and that, and Greg Bird can do this and that. See ya. Sit down.
Mark Teixeira is going to play 100. Even if he's healthy, Teixeira is going to play 120, 130 games, because Greg Bird is going to play a lot.
You really think Mark Teixeira has something to prove? Wait, not because of the injuries, because of you were looking at his numbers before he got injured. People were, the average wasn't there, but the home run RBI wise, they were saying MVP.
I know, but I'm saying it's not something to prove. I'm saying he's got to show that he's the better guy. If that's the case, he can't have that April and May that Mark Teixeira April and May that we're always used to. Yeah. He can't be batting 150 throughout the first 2 months. He just can't do it. If you're going to be a 3-hitter on the New York Yankees, you can't be batting like that when you know Greg Bird is going to be up there and wants to hit, wants to play, and can play every day.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of pressure on Teixeira.
It's bittersweet because the team has depth and they have talent, but it's
now. Can you really put a guy who's making that much money on the bench?
Exactly, and that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, it's like the whole DeMarco Murray thing and Philly.
Only,
but again,
if he stinks,
and stinks is what 200. No, not driving in runs.
Whatever he did in 2014, basically.
Yeah,
because that was
it's the Yankee way though. You spend that much money.
But a whole offseason speculation.
Exactly. They can afford it, so do you benchmark for sure? No. But
all right, rotation, though. Tanaka, always a question mark. Pineda, question mark. CC, question mark. Severino, awesome. Evaldi is evolving into a great pitcher. Assuming these 5 guys are healthy, that's a great rotation. And you don't have to make any moves at all.
Good.
Pineda can be awesome. Tanaka can be awesome.
But then Nova has his days and Pineda has his days.
If it's Tanaka, Pineda, Severino, CC, Evaldi, Nova's going to be in the bullpen.
Yeah. Oh, true. Nova
would be in the bullpen.
Nova would definitely be in the bullpen. I don't see him.
I guess he'd move CC to the bullpen.
Yeah.
This has the potential to be a very good rotation if they are healthy. The thing is, they're not. So, do you want the Yankees to get a pitcher? I don't think they should get Greinke or Cueto or anything like. I think they should settle. This is
Yeah.
what Sport Track, best website
Bro,
ever.
this is the thing.
Yeah.
Sorry I said bro, but like
I think they should go after maybe a mid-level pitcher, like
No.
not. All right, then I say mid-level. I mean like not your stud like
Right.
Greinke.
I don't know,
not- like Jordan
Let's see.
Zimmerman. That's not a
Jordan
he's
Zimmerman's not
pretty
bad.
Good. He's not bad. He's pretty good.
But this is the thing. Think about it this way. If you can afford it, money in sports just goes a long way.
Yeah.
If you can afford it, and you have a guy like Greinke or Cueto that you know is going to be healthy, that isn't injury prone, like the rest of your entire pitching staff, you don't go get him. Or at least attempt to. Because if Tanaka gets hurt again, or if CC stays hurt, like I don't know. I just as a Yankee fan, I'm sick of seeing all these pitchers. You're paying them money and just constantly getting hurt.
This is the guy that they should go for, Wei Yin Chen.
really,
He is very good against the division.
Okay, yeah, that matters 100%. You got to beat the teams in your division. I saw a lot of good names that are on this list that are like affordable, I guess, because I mean everyone's affordable. I mean, I saw
Iwakuma, Ian Kennedy.
Iwakuma. That was who I saw. I don't think Samardzija is good. He came to the AL and he has stunk. I think Gallardo still is a pretty good pitcher. Well, that's got Kazmir.
They could do Casimir.
Casimir's-
Mike Leake
Casimir's-
they could do.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Kazmir's
guys
too
on this
old.
list.
Mike
that-
Leake's too streaky.
They have a lot of. They have a
There's-
lot of
there's
options.
options.
This is
You
why
don't
I
have
love
to
the
get a
MLB
stud.
postseason with pitchers because there's always so many good pitchers in the offseason. But who knows?
There's
knows
a lot of
what's gonna
options
happen?
out there. They don't have to get a stud. Maybe if you don't,
They
maybe
don't
if,
have to get a stud.
maybe if
that's the common misconception. They do
Yeah.
not need a stud.
maybe if they don't like the front office thinks they need like a 3-starter because they don't trust Pineda or they don't trust Eovaldi to continue his hot streak. I don't know what they're thinking. You go out and get one of these mid-level guys and you pay him. I mean, I don't know what kind of money's good money, but like you pay him good enough money where they can't say no.
Yankee money's always good.
Do it the
money.
Yankee way.
You know that. So
I mean, do they want? They want to stay under that magic number 189, and they're going to do it because they have Bird. That 189 comes from Bird, Judge, Severino,
yeah,
Ref Snyder, Mateo,
Yeah.
all those guys, because they're not going to go out there and shop for a first baseman. Once McCann is gone, Sanchez is probably going to be your catcher. Sanchez might even be the backup this year, between him and J.R. Murphy.
Who's Mateo?
What?
Who's Mateo?
He's in single A right now.
single-
What position?
Shortstop.
So
They almost
good.
dealt him for Craig Kimbrell.
almost.
Wow.
Very
So is he-
close.
Out of the core four, and if you want to include Ref Snyder in the five, the Ref Snyder and Mateo are the two guys that Cashman will say, give me a very good deal. I will give you those two guys. Judge, Severino, and Bird are the I am not getting rid of
very
these
good
guys.
because these guys have shown already that they're amazing, and that's the backbone of the Yankees right now. That middle infield would be disgusting if they're on the same team.
Yankee bullpen. What do? They were awesome, and then
Just broke.
they broke. Do they
Shattered.
want to sign Kimbrell? Do they want to sign Chapman?
Chapman in pinstripes. Oh my.
Dellin, Miller, Chapman. They wouldn't lose.
Dellin Miller, Chapman. Literally, you have to tell your pitchers to go at least 5, not even
Yeah.
6 anymore.
yeah, that would definitely take a lot of pressure off the starters.
That's huge.
Thank you, Brandon.
That brings up a whole new
Yeah.
conversation. If they get Kimbrell or Chapman, they don't need a starter.
Well, wait. You're telling
Well, they
me.
don't.
You're telling
me
me.
that
telling
we don't need
me.
a starting pitcher to pitch the first 6 innings.
No,
But still.
I meant as
I understand what you're saying.
You don't need studs.
right. It's not. They don't. They wouldn't have to buy someone because it takes a lot less pressure off of the starters, like you said. They don't have to think to themselves, "I'm going to go 7 or 8, 5 or 6, and then 1, 2, 3, boom."
And
then-
that's the thing. So I like where you're going with this. Go with a reliever instead of a starter because your starters are good if they're healthy. But at the same time, if they are a little bit shaky, you still got that 7, 8, 9 reliever behind it. So Kimbrell or
That would
Chapman,
be the best bullpen in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Wait, you'd have Dellin pitch the 7th?
I
I like
would
Dellin in
have-
the 8th. I like Dellin in the 8th a lot.
I would have Dellin in the 8th. I'd move Miller
Shelby
to
7.
7, and I'd put Chapman in the.
Yeah.
I would check it. I would go.
I
On,
would-
I would go based on who's hitting during the 7th.
Closer
You
by
could
committee?
you could just flip them.
Dellin, I would keep in the 8th.
Yeah.
inning.
I agree.
Aroldis Chapman in the 9th, though. If you're going to get Aroldis Chapman or Craig Kimbrell, you put them in the 9th. You can't.
I agree. This was Miller's first year as a closer. Miller's not even a setup guy. Miller is usually a seventh inning guy.
So I'm saying you could interchange Miller and Betances depending on who's hitting you. If you have two lefties in the 7th, you throw Miller, and vice versa. You should work on matchups, and Girardi's good at that. So
that question goes for the Mets also. They need another bullpen guy also.
Another bullpen. They need to shop out the bullpen.
That's true.
Yeah, they need
Tyler Clippard's. I don't even know what's up with him anymore.
No, you know who they got who honestly just did not come through to them? That guy from the Diamondbacks, Addison Reed.
Reed
just didn't.
Nope.
He was that move was like so overhyped by the media. Oh, they got the 7th inning guy. They got him. He in the playoffs. What did he do in that 12th inning? He gave up 3 more runs.
Yep.
So I don't know. But back to Mateo first. I just have a question. They're definitely more willing to get rid of him because Gregorius came on late in the season, right? So you would think if him or Refsnyder, you get rid of Mateo first, and you think you can get a stud for Mateo?
Yes,
he's that good.
Mateo
the Dodgers offered Craig Kimbrell for Jorge Mateo. So the kid is good.
Wait a second. Why do the Yankees need a middle infielder if Refsnyder's going to be the guy?
Because they're not sure if Refsnyder's going to be the guy. I really.
What do you think?
See, if he were the guy, he would have played over Stephen Drew. That's my thinking.
Yeah.
I said it when I visited, when I hung out with Chris Sharon. We both said that Refsnyder is better than Stephen Drew. Is he a liability in the field? Sure. But the guy has an awesome bat. We were both thinking that they didn't want Refsnyder to play because they didn't want to be too used to Refsnyder at second base. So they just left in Drew. Once Drew got hurt, that's when he did Perella and Refsnyder and the whole gang. The Yankees have 17 second basemen. They have to settle on one guy. Is it going to be Refsnyder? I hope so. I don't think it will be, but
I don't think it will be.
You just think they're going to go out and get somebody else?
I think so. I mean, I would. I mean,
I think that's
if you want to keep that cap, if they want that magic number of 189, you put
then you leave
Refsnyder at second. You let Drew go, and you see what Brian Cashman. If you're really going to stand up behind your young guys and your farm system instead of shopping them away like we have seen in the offseason, he stuck with them this trade deadline. So put him up there. Put your money where your mouth is. I want to see these guys play.
But like I said, here are their third basemen: Stephen Drew, Refsnyder, Ackley, Perella, Petit, Brendan Ryan.
Ackley.
They have two.
Brendan Ryan.
They have too
Stephen
many
Drew,
people. I mean, Drew is gone, but they have too many people.
Why is Brendan Ryan still on the team?
I have no idea.
Why is Dustin Ackley? How many years did he sign for? 1?
No, he got he was in the trade. I kind of like Ackley off the bench though.
Ackley off the bench
was solid, and I think he'll. I mean,
he's the most inconsistent player I've seen.
Well, that's the reason why they traded him. But but pinch hitting, you're not having him having him bat 4 times. He's batting once again.
I just think you got to really go with your farm system. And these guys, if you can trade Jorge Mateo for Craig Kimbrell, the guy's obviously a stud.
Yeah.
So see what they can do. If they can't produce, then you talk about it. But you can't. I always bring it up, but the Austin Jackson trade. I feel like he got traded away too quickly for Curtis Granderson, and the guy's shown that he can be a very good player. So, who knows what's going to happen? That's why I love winter meetings. Yeah. Love it.
Apparently we can go to them.
We can. We really can. There's this.
They're in Florida, right?
It was told
this year they're in Nashville.
They go different places wherever it's warm.
It was in Florida last year.
Yeah, but
they were in either Florida or
you can go. There's a career fair there.
You can go to the winter meetings.
Yeah,
you can't.
They have a career fair or something.
They have a career fair.
I'm so down to go.
Every team is set up and you know what it is. Hopefully, we got to check it. I might be going to Nashville for the NHL All-Star game.
You love going to the All-Star game.
I don't love it. My cousin does. I kind of just go along for the ride because it's cool.
Oh, you love it.
I do love, bro. It's the most awesome thing in the world.
Trying to act like he doesn't like going to the
Going to Nashville? Oh, come on. You couldn't pay me.
Nashville's tough.
I go for free. I'll work.
That's sweet. Ryan Warwick, Scott Thompson, Brandon Kurtzman, Scotty T. Update us, fam. We're changing up the song, by the way.
Love it.
Beaver's the man.
All right, last night, women volleyball crushed Rowan University in straight sets to advance into the NJAC semifinal. They dominated with a 333 kill percentage with only 10 errors. Larissa Iwascu led the team with 14 kills, while Rachel Summer had a 500 kill percentage. They will face off against number 1 seeded Stockton University tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at Stockton. So let's root on the women's volleyball team to hopefully keep on going in the NJAC. Men's basketball is underway tonight as they will have their first preseason game against Dominican College in the Bradley Center at 7:15. We already have our first top free agent, as we were talking about. Zach Greinke opted out of his 3-year, $71 million contract with the Dodgers and is now on the market, so let's see where he goes when the winter meetings commence. Knicks and Nets both play tonight. Knicks against the Cavs, Nets against the Hawks, and the Rangers last night beat the Capitals 5-2, while the Devils lost to the Islanders 2-1. That's all the updates we got. We're in between seasons. A little bit boring, but basketball's about to come back on, and we can't wait for that. We have a little segment coming up. So
Mondays, baby.
Captain Mondays, baby.
Let's make that big announcement. Captain Mondays, starting next Monday, we'll have the team captains for the basketball team, Jimbo Long and Tom Bonicum. They'll be here every Monday to
talk to us about the team. Hopefully we can get Coach McBreen on here too. He's very willing to do stuff, by the way. He's a really cool guy. Except on the court, he scares me. But
you know who he looks like? Paul Heyman from WWE.
No, he told Connor and Steve.
Oh wait.
He told Connor and Steve when they were on their official visit that his doctor told him they had to stop screaming so much on the court because he had a heart attack if he didn't stop.
Yeah. Urban Meyer.
Yeah,
same thing, but that's your updates. You're listening to BC East on WRPR 90.3 FM. Ryan Mork, Scott Thompson. We're with Brandon Kurtzman today as well. Be back after these important messages.
You're listening to WRPR Mawa.
Now that's a face for radio.
It's perfect. It's unbelievable.
It's a miracle.
It's a TV dinner.
It's WRPR, Mawa Ramapo Radio.
It could change the world.
Listening to WRPR.
Hey, parents of children with asthma, here's another hit from the Breathe Easies.
Don't smoke in the house. Don't smoke in the house. Don't smoke around the kids in the house. Don't smoke in the car. Don't smoke in the house. Don't break my heart with your secondhand smoke in the kids. It can trigger the asthma.
Preventing asthma attacks can be as simple as making your home and car smoke-free zones. For more Breathe Easy tips to help stop asthma attacks, go to noattacks.org. Brought to you by the EPA and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Ozzy Osbourne. For many years, you know I've had a drink problem and I'm trying to battle that problem every single day. But one thing I don't drive my car when I'm drinking. I get someone to drive me. Do not drink and drive. It's the stupidest thing. If you drink, just don't drive. Not only are you going to hurt yourself, you may hurt some other person, and you wouldn't want that on your conscience, would you?
A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho. H to the
I'm a champion. Realize Shaq's mechanism.
Hi, Shaquille O'Neal for Rad. This is not your normal PSA. Don't be stupid. Don't drink and drive. If you're gonna go out and have a good time, it's fine. But designate a driver to drive home. Let's stop the madness. Don't drink and drive.
A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
A little old school here. Josie?
He was singing this on the field today, too.
He was saying it on the field during flag football.
Corner blitz.
Can't believe that corner blitz.
You guys serious?
Quarter blitz.
No one texted me.
That's not
No
up to
one
us.
said a word.
I told you last night.
I'm still not in the group
You think
chat.
I remember?
It doesn't let you in. I don't know why.
Man. Bro, I'm like literally a top 5 receiver on this campus. You don't understand.
What? Top 5? I can name one that's better than you on my team.
Mike?
Freak. Yo, he punted the ball today like 80 yards.
They also stood 15 yards in front of us.
Oh, did they?
They were literally 20 yards away from Mike.
couldn't
Mike
tell. I
literally
was
just
saying
looks at
mine.
them. He's
I'm
like,
hurt.
You really think I'm not
just
gonna
come next week, cuz.
No.
kick this?
You guys don't want me on the team.
Fine.
It's not my team.
It's not my team. It's Kevin's. He's the captain.
Speaking of flag football, we're going to talk about football now.
Tackle football, not flag football.
Yeah, there's no professional flag football leagues.
There should be.
That'd be
we would make
That'd
a
be
good team.
That honestly would just be so stupid. I'm not
Brandon
gonna
would be the GM.
Simple. All right, let's talk about football. I hate to bring this up, but the Giants probably lost the worst game I've ever seen. They scored 49 points and lost.
Oh, it was so entertaining though.
I didn't. I mean,
It was an entertaining game.
Oh, it was.
If you were at that game, I was probably
I didn't watch it. I was down to my radio and my phone.
But I thought
I
thought my dad had 5 heart attacks watching that game.
He probably did, to be honest with you. I was going nuts. Like when it was 28, it was 28-14. We had just gotten stopped, and then they scored, being 28-14. I said this game's over because there's no shot we stopped them because like the Giants' defense
stinks.
Yeah,
Stinks isn't even the
in
word
layman's terms,
anymore.
it really only stinks because they can't get pressure on the quarterback. That's the only reason why the Giants' defense isn't good.
If you can at least close a pocket or at least make him
get out of
run
the
a little bit out of the pocket.
And it doesn't help that Prince Amukamara is out. Prince Amukamara is a very underrated player on this Giants defense. He's very underrated.
Top 15, top 20 corner in the NFL.
Probably. But seriously, you score 49 points and you lose.
And the way you lose, too, for the second time in a big game, the Giants punter does not learn how to punt the ball out of bounds.
Yep.
I said to George when we were watching, I said, if he does not punt this ball out of bounds, the Saints are going to win this game somehow. And what does he do? Punts right to the guy. And what happens? For the first time all season, honestly, the punt team breaks down and they let him get a big game. And
then the face mask.
You can't blame that on that. You can blame Brad Wing for the face mask. But, I mean, if you look at that, Willie Snead also did grab Brad Wing's face mask too, but anyway, Brad Wing hit a bomb.
No, I don't. You punt the ball out of bounds.
It's punted out of bounds.
If you punt the ball out of bounds, you are a professional punter. You have one job. Yeah. You punt the ball out of bounds because if you punt that ball out of bounds, all right. Say you punt it out of bounds, it goes down to like their 30. They had 15 seconds and no timeouts.
And if you hit a bomb, that gives the punt returner room to run.
Room to get his head going. I don't know if Tom called. I didn't listen to I usually listen to the press conference after the game, but he was probably so pissed. But I didn't see it. But if he told Brad Wing to get that ball out of bounds and he didn't, I don't get what these punters don't understand. Punt the ball out of bounds.
I mean, this obviously isn't as escalated as what happened with Matt Dodge, but
it's honestly just as bad.
It's not just as bad. He kicked to Deshaun Jackson.
Okay, yes, completely, yes.
Come on.
But the stupidity of the punter in that situation.
Yeah, I get exactly where you're coming from.
The
but
same result.
Not even with the punt and what happened at the end. Just looking at the god-awful performance. I was watching First Take on Monday, and Stephen A. said, I hope that Rob Ryan and Steve Spagnuolo walked home or flew commercial. He said they did not deserve to go onto the team flight or the team bus back because that was the worst defensive display I've ever seen in my life.
On both sides.
Worst. That was Pop Warner football.
It was Big 12 football.
Eli Manning was literally looking around like, what more do I possibly have to do?
You don't think Drew Brees was doing that on the Saints sideline?
Yeah, Drew Brees probably doing the same thing. Yeah, good job, guys. We're up by 2 touchdowns. You just get them all back. It's just...
I don't even know.
That wasn't an NFL game.
The thing is, I expected the Giants to be 4-4 at this point in the season, but we were just saying it when we were on commercial break. They are this close to being 7-1, and that's the thing that ticks you off. The fact that they're 4-4. I thought they were going to lose against the Saints. I thought they were going to lose against the Cowboys. I think another game here and there that I thought they were going to lose, and they did. But the way that they're losing and the fact that they are this close to essentially running away with the division. If they're 7-1 right now,
division's locked up.
The division's locked up. You're up by what? 4 games?
Yeah, you're up 4 games in the division with
8 to go.
And all you'd have to do from there on out, go even, maybe even go 3-5.
Yep.
And we have a bye week coming up too in 2 weeks
after the Patriots
game.
I
love our bye week being week 11.
Yeah,
because it gives everyone like that but it's like more of a later season bye week, so it gives everyone a little more time.
Bye weeks like week 5, week 6 make no sense to me.
I feel so bad for those teams.
Oh, me too.
Me too. But still, I mean, just hopefully we can figure out something before the bye week. I mean, we're going to the Bucs.
Who must win.
Yeah.
Who beat the Falcons.
Yep.
Okay, this isn't a bad team. Jameis Winston is sort of coming along. But, again, just can we please get one sack or one tipped pass at the line or Jameis Winston running out of bounds or something or throwing the ball away? It's just I just don't know.
Good point with the tip pass. JPP might play on Sunday. If he plays, what kind of impact does he have on this team?
Okay, if he plays, well, first of all, they said he has to be ready to play. And if honestly, he said he's been staying in game shape, so he better be ready to play after a week of practice.
Yeah.
If he plays, difference maker. First, there's a couple of reasons why. One, he's playing for a contract.
Yeah.
Those incentives, he can make so much money.
Yeah.
Second of all, he's the only legitimate pass rusher we have on this team.
Yeah.
And he hasn't played yet. And if you don't get pressure on the quarterback, you don't win a football game because they have all day to throw. And Winston with all day to throw against this pass defense, I don't care who you are, could be, and honestly, it could be any of us.
Yeah.
And we would be able to do something against this defense.
Basically, Lovie Smith is going to say, just don't throw to Rogers Cromartie. That's basically what it's going to come down to. Because who's Wade, by the way?
Trevin Wade.
Trevin Wade.
He was a training camp stud that they thought could be like the surprise impact player. Yeah, I know.
Did you see how many times he got beat?
Yeah,
no, because I didn't watch it.
Yes, I did.
Brandon Cooks, Marquise Colston. Every touchdown you watch in that highlight of that game is him diving for them at the end.
For the most part.
It was bad.
Yeah,
so like the Unga for the secondary.
Really bad.
Yeah,
really bad.
The beat writers all thought he could be not like a lockdown corner, but like where he's going to be that guy that came out of training camp, somehow made the roster, and then made
the Giants are missing people like Bennett Jackson, who was supposed to start, and Prince Amukamara. They just don't have a.
We're not deep. We're not deep at corner. I still think we should have made some kind of move for. I think Cam Chancellor. Honestly, I don't know why we didn't give up. The secondary is just so bad.
I know.
And
now if they want him, they're going to have to spend money.
Oh, no,
with the
it's
trade
over.
deadline.
No, they're not getting them. The trade deadline passed.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying because it passed, you have to pay now.
Yeah, they're not taking anyone. There's no one else out there to get, and I don't know. This defense really is going to have to do something different. Steve Spags, just do something different.
I mean, the thing with Spags is that he doesn't have players.
Exactly. We talk about how Joe Girardi, we commend him for what he did with this team because they had nobody. Steve Spagnuolo has no one to deal with.
Yep.
You have no linebacker. Like we had Antonio Pierce, who was the defensive captain. You need a definitive linebacker.
Yeah.
You don't have that.
That was the last linebacker we actually had that could legitimately manage defense.
Devon Kennard can be that guy, but he's just non-existent.
Yep.
Now, him and Hankins have been honestly the only two, and DRC have been the only three highlights of the defense, I guess, with their play. Because Hankins is still a top defensive tackle. He's going to ask for big money. I'm a little bit afraid that we don't re-sign him in a few years.
I just feel bad because I was watching the game with my dad. It's like the first Giants game I watched, and he goes, I thought the man was going to cry. He goes, I grew up with Lawrence Taylor and Michael Strahan, and he's like,
we're 4 years removed from the Giants defense essentially winning the Giants the Super Bowl. Them, and Eli. Was it really that long ago?
He goes, this isn't Giants football. No? He's like, this isn't. He goes, I'm not blaming Eli, just the defense. I grew up on Giants winning games from defense, and there's just nothing there.
But the game versus the Bucs this Sunday, without a doubt, a must-win.
Yeah, let's preview that a little bit.
I don't know who the Eagles are playing. Eagles playing the Cowboys. You're almost rooting for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
You're rooting for whoever's in last, so the Cowboys.
Yeah, you're rooting for the Cowboys because you don't want the Eagles to... No, because you know what? No, we don't want the Eagles... Because we can't have the Eagles win because if they win, they're 4-4.
No, I'm a Giants fan. I hope it ends in a tie.
Yeah, hey,
that too.
Best case scenario.
Yeah, best case scenario
would be a tie.
No, the Giants have to win this game. I don't care. It's It's week 9.
Yeah,
it's a must-win week 9. It's a must-win the rest of the season.
You have to win before you play the Patriots too. You can.
You cannot go. They're losing against the Patriots. They're losing. They're going to get absolutely.
We can't go into New England at home. We can't go into the New England game 4-5
because
they're going 4-6.
My aunt the other day goes, I might get tickets to the Patriots game. I'm like,
I don't
want to go.
No.
She's like, why not? I'm like, I just don't want to see what happens.
Because Tom Brady might throw for 450 yards and
I have a dentist.
That's an understatement.
I have a dentist appointment. I can't go.
Yeah, right. All right. So, quick preview for Sunday against the Bucs. They're throwing to Odell a lot more, which is what they need to do.
Which is what we wanted to see, yeah. 3 touchdowns, 130 yards last week. Great job. Great job. Picking apart defense. And this time, what happens when you throw to Odell Beckham to start the game? You see what happens? Ruben Randall and Dwayne Harris get open. Then you can start throwing to those guys.
I mean, who didn't have a good game? Who didn't?
Exactly. I mean, you can't really look at this game like that. But still, they threw to Odell first and then picked apart the other players next. So
Ruben Randall on the injury report again this week with a hamstring. It's the
same thing every week.
Listen, he was on the injury report last week. He's obviously going to play with the hamstring. Prince still out. I think 1 more week. He should be back at practice next week. We hope. And then Robert Ayers also on the injury report. If he doesn't play, I mean, hopefully JVP needs to play.
Needs to, because Robert Ayers is the only guy that has attempted to get to the quarterback.
Do we have any sacks as a team?
Oh yeah,
but how many?
I think 9.
Are you
9
serious?
in 8 games.
That's god awful.
That's 1.1 per game. Yeah. That is awful.
Do you see who's on the line sometimes? Nikita Whitlock.
Yo, Kerry Wynn, solid defensive end.
He is very good,
but he can't rush the quarterback. He's just good against the run. But we need guys who can rush the quarterback. So JB, play if you're
Can they get rid of DeMontre Moore, please?
This guy is
joke.
I loved him in college. If he didn't get in trouble for whatever he got in trouble for in college, he would have been a first-round pick. He was actually Mel Kiper's number 2 player coming into that season.
Yeah.
And then he got in trouble for something, didn't play half the year, and then he fell to the 3rd round to the Giants. And
what happened this past week? What did he do?
Nothing. He's just an idiot.
He just another roughing the passer, right? He
Probably.
did that again.
When we were when we were getting the phone on our game on Sunday, we saw a face mask, and the first thing I was like, "It's DeMontre Moore." He was the first person I thought. It was Brad Wing of all people. But he just gives off bad vibes.
He's just so raw. Yep. Still in year 3, he's so raw. They're obviously not going to pick up the 5th player option that in your rookie deal. Yeah. He will leave after his 4th season, and I don't know what team is. His career could be over in another year. He'd probably be on the roster bubble.
Solid player, but he just is dumb. I don't even know what goes through his head sometimes.
Bad mistakes.
Ryan Moore, Scott Thompson, Brandon Kurtzman, Beast of the East on WRPR 90.3 FM. Call in with your thoughts, 201-825-1234. We'll be back after this.
Energy efficiency interviews are brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Lisa, do you always leave your stereo on in the other room?
Oh, well, I was going to turn it off, but everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days.
You're just repeating the lyrics to Hannah Montana's song.
Okay, I'm turning it off.
Millions of kids are using their energy wisely. What's your excuse? Learn more at loseyourexcuse.gov.
This is actually the only reason why I went to commercial. This song.
You're embarrassing.
This song is so good.
It's good.
Oh my. Look at that. He's so back.
What?
He's back. Have you
He never left.
No, he was out for a little while.
He's smart. You know what he is to do? He's smart because the dance scene is picking up. You know I love dance music and I go to festivals and stuff. Yeah. Skrillex is producing his songs. Do you know how smart this man is? So smart.
Have you guys seen the videos though? Like the last 2 videos that have come out of him? He was at a concert in like Bulgaria or something like that, and I guess there was a leak on the floor, on the ceiling, and it went to the floor. So he was trying to clean it, and like of course, like he's in the front, so all the girls are like, "Oh my God, Justin Bieber, got to touch him," and like they keep touching him, and he's like, "Guys, stop! I'm trying to clean the floor, blah blah blah," and then. they just keep annoying him, and like he just stands up and he's like, "I'm canceling the show," and just walks off.
He left?
He just left. And then there was another one where he was doing like an acoustic version of "What Do You Mean?" and they're clapping off beat, and he literally says, "Guys, stop the music. Can you at least clap on the right tempo?"
I hate when people do that. That's a pet peeve of mine.
It's a pet peeve of mine, but like you don't just.
Yeah, you do.
No,
yeah, you do. Because that just messes you up. That's awful.
It does. Yeah.
When you're Justin Bieber, you can probably do whatever you want.
Basically, is what it comes down. Except speed down the street when who lives right down the street from him? What's
Keyshawn Johnson.
Keyshawn Johnson. I wouldn't want to mess with Keyshawn Johnson.
Melissa, I showed this song to you. Boom, the day it came out. Finally, something I care about on your show.
You serious? Wow. Anyway.
That's rough.
Yeah,
You don't care about the Giants?
Thanks for nothing, Melissa.
Unbelievable.
Melissa, call in. Name 7 people on the Giants.
No.
First person she's going to say is Tremaine McBride. I told her this one. She was like, McBride? I'm like, okay.
Anyway.
Enough. All right. So, Jets. I said kidding. All right. So, Jets lost against Oakland. Geno had to come in. Fitzpatrick is hurt. Is he going to play on Sunday?
It's up in the air. It's probably not going to be decided until like Saturday.
Hope Fitzpatrick plays.
No.
Geno did not play badly.
After that
He did not play
interception,
badly.
he went off. He made 2 mental mistakes.
He's an idiot,
He took
but-
2 dumb sacks at the end of the game, which really cost them any chance of an onside kick. And they've been shown they can recover an onside kick against the Patriots.
Yeah.
So I think either way they win this game, but the defense is overrated.
Their defense is overrated.
Ryan Fitzpatrick to start at QB for Jets versus Jaguars despite thumb injury.
And
There
all
you go.
Jets fans.
It's huge that it's on his not throwing shoulder. Jets D overrated.
If you
Overrated? There is no way.
I mean, did you watch them try to tackle?
Well, that one play was
Which one, the Crabtree one or the
I don't-
Tywan Jones one?
The guy I never heard of, so Tywan Jones.
Tywan Jones. These guys, no, like this defensive line, big names, don't stop the run. The passing game, Darrelle Revis, a savage. Antonio Cromartie gets beat.
Cromartie
every
stinks
single
this-
play.
Cromartie's
Calvin
awful.
Pryor, good player in the secondary, wasn't there. Made a difference. The secondary is not as good as people. The people thought the secondary was going to be amazing. The secondary is decent. The linebacking core decent. The defensive line good but not great. They have not played up to the abilities of this team. The Raiders just beat them. The Raiders are a much better team than they were a season ago. But
yeah, football's back in Oakland. They should be happy.
football
with
is
what they
back
have.
in Oakland. They just beat. All right, if you're the Jets, you win that game. If you're a playoff team, you win that game.
Yeah.
That's the only other team besides the Steelers that is contending with you for a wild card spot.
If Fitzpatrick played, would they have lost? I say yes.
Yes, but I think I don't know, but the first drive of the game, he was marching.
Right.
3 straight completions, and he ran for another 15 yards, and then he got hurt on the slide.
Yeah. I
don't
mean,
really-
you never know with one drive because look
I
at Eli
never-
against Philly.
Literally
Marched
just about
and
to
then-
say that.
Yeah.
Just about to say that.
I don't know what kind of game it would have been because you obviously do not know the future.
Right.
But
We'll see. They have some cleanup games though. Jaguars, Bills, Texans.
Yep.
Those are the next 3
you
games.
need to win all 3 of those games.
I think they have,
And then you-
especially because they lost against
And then you
Oakland.
play the Dolphins after that.
Yeah,
I mean,
if they won this weekend, you could afford the loss against the Bills. Actually, you really couldn't because the Bills have not been playing exceptionally well. Their defense has not
lived up to the billing.
Right.
like you said, if you're a playoff team though, you got to win that
You gotta
game.
win that game.
You have to
But
win
their
that game.
schedule
is so
easy. Jaguars, Bills, Texans, Dolphins, Giants, Titans.
All right,
they could win.
They're going to
every
be
single
favored
one
in
of
all those games.
except the Cowboys and the Patriots.
The-
The
I thi-
Cowboys will be healthy.
The Cowboys
week 15.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah. The Jaguars though, football is back in Jacksonville. They don't win games, but they are competitive in every single game
Because
They
of Blake
have not
Bortles.
been-
Blake Bortles is playing very well.
and their receiving core is so good.
Allen
Allen
Hurns,
Robinson,
yeah.
Allen Hurns.
TJ Yeldon's unbelievable this
Very
year.
good. Julius Thomas. People forget this guy. All right. TJ said this to me. If you are a mismatch on one team to a defense, you are a mismatch on any team to a defense. They just don't use him properly.
Right.
Use the guy properly. When you're in the red zone, throw him
Yeah,
the ball.
Jacksonville has very good
Good weapons.
players. This is a trap game for the Jets, especially after coming. This is 2 big losses for them. 2 games where they could have won, arguably should have won, and they couldn't do it. And we said it last week or 2 weeks ago. They could have been 7-3 through 10 games. Now you're looking at 6-4, 5-5 maybe. If you lose this week, and you have the Bills, who knows? Because the Jets have not been playing very well. This team went from being 7-3 to it's probably not going to happen, but wouldn't be too shocked if this Jets team went 4-6 through their 10 games.
No, I don't see it happening.
Neither do I.
I don't see it
but-
happening because it's just the schedule's just too easy, in
But,
my
like,
opinion.
divisional games on a Thursday night on a short week, that can go either way. And this Jacksonville team, they can play. The Jets cannot take them lightly. If they look over this game and look towards the Bills next week, they will lose.
Yeah.
I don't care. The Jaguars have been bad at finishing games this year because you saw what happened in London. They almost blew that game with a 27-point lead.
Yeah.
The Jets need to come out and stomp on the Jaguars' throats early because honestly, you cannot lose this game because you will be 4-4.
Yeah.
Why does England love the Jaguars so much?
They're trying to get English, trying to get Jacksonville would be like the team that moves to London if there were going to be
I thought that was a really bad idea.
Oh, it's the worst idea.
It's really not, though, because when you look at the traveling, England is only about 3,500 miles from New York. Think about the flight from New York to California.
Yes.
About 3,000 miles.
I agree.
Do I still think it's a bad idea? Yes, but it's really not as bad as I originally thought.
How will that team ever get good if who in their right mind is going to want to sign with the London Jaguars or whatever they call them in London?
I can completely understand what they're doing. They made games.
Expand the game, obviously.
They made how many games, I believe? 6 or something?
This year it's 3.
Next year, I think it's 6.
Well, like 2018, they have 6 games.
The deal they signed, the Jaguars are playing every year in London.
Yeah, and because they're trying to get the Jaguars to move to London. If the Jaguars move to London, that will doom the franchise for however long they're in London.
Because no one's going to want to play there.
First of all, if you're a rookie, you think Blake Bortles going to want to move his family to London? No.
Stay in Oviedo, baby.
Stay in Oviedo.
Hometown boy.
They will not. No free agents they'll leave. They will not sign an extension after their rookie deals, and they will leave and go to another team. That franchise will never get good. That's the worst thing that can happen to the NFL.
All right, real quick. Predictions for the Giants and Jets. I say Giants win. I say Jets win. I think the Jets win by, I'm going to guess, double digits. Giants, are they going to win?
Well, I can honestly see this being like a 23-20 game.
Giants.
Jets or Giants?
Giants.
Me too.
I'm going to go Giants 31-28, and I'm going to go Jets 35-21.
35 Jets.
I think Fitzpatrick can sling.
Yeah. I'm not going to go with predictions, but I just know that both of them